actually started with the idea of the story, the idea of the birth of Kalki, and I wanted to set it in the future. So once we decided it's going to be in the future, we have to start imagining how Kasi will be in the future, how people will exchange money in the future, what people will eat, how is there water, like how do vehicles look. So we designing that entire world literally took an entire army of concept artists, our production designer, everyone to sit and make it, because we didn't want it to look like anything from the West again. We didn't want it to look like some Blade Runner or some other movie where you just use some neon lights and it looks like Tokyo or something. So we just had to try to find our own aesthetic, and finally this is what happened. This is what it looks like. We actually finished everything, meaning it was Project K for a long time. It was Project K for a long time. We actually did that also because we didn't want too many fan theories about Kalki going around. We wanted people to know that this is what the movie is, and once we release Kalki, then it's closer to the release or closer to a teaser or closer to a trailer. So, people have some sort of visual connect to the title rather than just the title. He's the biggest superstar in our country for sure. Like, he has reignited everyone's imagination, like right now also, like just on the big screen. And just to watch him and Prabhas go at it against each other was the most exciting thing that I directed, and I think even for the audience it's translating, because for them to see both of their stars, I think Prabhas was telling me that he never saw his fans whistle when he got hit ever in a film. So this was a first, yeah. The idea was that the Mahabharata was a reality, and from there is where our story is ending and which our story is flowing. So all of these characters, if Ashwadama is still alive in this yuga and he has a purpose to fulfill, I just wanted to fill in the other threads, and for me Bhairava was a very important thread. That's how the climax of the film was a reveal, and lots of things that are described about how the Kali Yuga would be are something that we tried to portray here. I think these four characters sort of are the four pillars of the film, whether it's Deepika's or Kamal sir's or Ashwadama or Bhairava. These both form like the base on which our whole story and everything sits on. I mean, even so, it is still a very big budget. Even if the half went to the actors, it's still a very huge budget for an Indian film just to be able to make in production. I think a huge portion of that went to the action and the visual effects part of the film, apart from the actors. And but I think what we really tried to make sure that it shows on screen. Like, each of the actors look great on screen. They look larger than life. They look, spectacular. Like Bachchan sir looks great. Prabhas looks great. Deepika in that interval walking through that fire, she looks amazing. I think Kamal sir in those two scenes of his both two different avatars, I think he just showed us what he was, and all the visual effects have just been such positive reviews about it. Like, it's just about how they've never seen something like it. So I'm happy in a way that though it is such an expensive film, all the money that we did spend is showing on screen, and it's worth it. I don't know if it's a South cinema thing. I think it's purely a good cinema thing. Like, it can come from anywhere. I think even if it's a Malayalam film or a Hindi film, or if tomorrow, like how Kannada film came out of nowhere like KGF and made such massive mayhem at the box office, like, it doesn't matter where it comes from. I just think if you get your storytelling right and your screenplay, storytelling and those highs right, it works. Like, you don't take the audience for granted, it works. It was quite overwhelming actually. Like, we were shooting, that was also the first day of Kalki. We were shooting with Mr. Bachchan on the first day of Kalki on Guru Purnima, I think 2020 or something. And it was great. I think he just looked amazing. I think we were all spellbound in that get up with the prosthetic and the wig and the hair, and we were like, is this real? Like, a lot of us were just in one awe. We were like sort of on our toes, thinking that we'll all wake up from one dream or something, because that man just makes everything feel like a dream, and that we were in that cave. And yeah, definitely stopping him. Sir wanted to do pretty much everything, and he's amazing. He'll give everything that is for a film, that he needs to for a film. Film above everything else, director, producer above everything else. He's a legend. Yeah, there's nothing more to it. I mean, for a person like me who's comparatively a fresher and just coming up, just to work in this man's presence was great. Yeah, so much learning.